Chosen one, while you slept, something holy unfolded in the unseen realm. In the silence of night, heaven summoned your name, not with wrath, not with fury, but with intention. A divine courtroom was opened not because you did something wrong, but because the time had come to settle what the enemy thought he owned. You were not called to be punished. You were called to be vindicated. Your spirit stood before the judge of all creation, though your body remained unaware. Yet in heaven, every word spoken about you, every lie whispered against you, every sin used to accuse you was gathered and presented before the court. The enemy came forward, confident and loud. He brought a list of failures, wounds, regrets, and broken promises. He counted the times you doubted, the moments you felt weak, the places where you turned away. He spoke of shame, of missed opportunities, of prayers you stopped praying. He believed your file would end in judgment. But then the courtroom shifted. The Son of God stood not to speak, but to show. His hands were lifted, and the scars did the talking. The cross was remembered. The blood was revealed. No defense was needed, because the payment had already been made in full. As C.S. Lewis wrote in The Weight of Glory, "There are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal." This truth resonates deeply in the divine courtroom of your vindication. You are not a mere collection of failures or a ledger of mistakes. You are a chosen soul, marked by heaven for a purpose far greater than the enemy's accusations. Lewis's words affirm that your presence in God's court is no accident. You are an eternal being, and the verdict of heaven declares you free, not because of your merit, but because of Christ's sacrifice. The atmosphere changed. The voice of the accuser was drowned out by mercy. The gavel struck not with condemnation, but with release. You were not declared guilty. You were declared free. Not tolerated, but chosen. Not overlooked, but restored. Heaven did not just cancel the charges. It erased the entire record. Your name was cleared, your story rewritten, and your inheritance unlocked. The courtroom did not echo with punishment, but with purpose. God did not see you through the lens of your past, but through the lens of his redemption. You didn't hear it because you were sleeping, but your soul knows. You felt something shift. You may not have words for it, but deep inside, you sense it. The weight has changed. The chains have broken. Something has been lifted. Because it has. The case is closed. The enemy has been silenced. What was once hanging over you has now been cast into the sea of forgotten things. Not because you earned it, not because you were strong enough, but because you belong to God, and he has called you by name. If this stirred your spirit, comment, "The case is closed. I am free." Let it be your public agreement with heaven. Don't scroll past declare it now. Something holy has already begun. So now, even if the world remembers what you did, heaven no longer does. Even if voices try to remind you of where you've been, the throne room only sees where you're going, and where you're going is sacred. The door has opened, the scroll has turned, and you, chosen one, have been declared not guilty, not only in spirit, but in destiny. Walk forward knowing this. The courtroom of heaven has ruled in your favor. Nothing can reverse it. You may not see it yet, but something has already shifted in your favor. What felt blocked is now breaking open. What seemed delayed is now accelerating. While you were trying to survive another day, heaven was preparing a divine transaction with your name engraved into it. The miracle you've been waiting for isn't a fantasy, it's been authorized, released, and is now making its way toward you. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by design. God has not forgotten you. In fact, he has been orchestrating something far beyond your understanding. Chosen one, there is someone on this earth, someone of great influence, great wealth who has seen your name, not because they were looking for you, but because heaven whispered you into their spirit. While they were asleep, your name echoed in their dreams. They don't know why they feel drawn toward you, why your name lingers in their thoughts, but they feel it. And that feeling is not random, it's a divine assignment. God has touched their heart without their permission, stirred their soul without their awareness, and now they are searching for the one God pointed out in the night. That one is you. This is not a moment of luck. This is what heaven calls recompense. What the enemy stole, time, money, opportunity, is now being returned with interest. The delays weren't denials. They were strategic pauses to make sure everything would align in your favor. The people who overlooked you were never meant to carry your blessing. The hands that are coming now have been anointed to release what was always yours. The accounts are being prepared, the connections are being activated, the funds are being directed to find you. Reflecting on the subtle strategies of the enemy, C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, "The safest road to hell is the gradual one, the gentle slope, soft underfoot, without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts." This insight illuminates the enemy's attempts to keep you bound in lack and delay, luring you into complacency with subtle distractions. Lewis's warning underscores that the divine transaction now unfolding is a direct counter to the enemy's gradual erosion of your destiny. Heaven's recompense is breaking through because you refuse to remain on that gentle slope, and God is now accelerating what was once stalled. Don't measure what's coming by what you've seen before. God is not in the business of small blessings. What's arriving isn't just a financial gift, it's a message from heaven itself. It says, "You have been remembered. You have been vindicated. You are stepping into overflow." This blessing will be so precise, so undeniable, so impossible to explain by natural means, that even those around you will say, "Surely the hand of God is on this one," and they will be right. The wealth is not arriving to impress, it's arriving to restore. It's arriving to fulfill the vision God placed inside you long ago, the dream you almost gave up on, the burden you've carried in silence. The overflow is not for show, it is fuel for destiny. You were never meant to stay in lack. That was only the wilderness. But the wilderness has done its work. You have been humbled, purified, prepared. Now you are being trusted with increase. So lift your head, chosen one. Shake off the doubt, dismiss the fear. Your hands may have been empty for a long time, but they are about to carry more than you imagined. The doors that wealth couldn't open before will now swing wide, not because of the money, but because of the anointing on your name. This is the hour where hidden things are revealed, blocked streams are released, and impossible breakthroughs become visible. The financial miracle has already been released, and it is coming for you. Chosen one. The blessing that's coming toward you is far greater than money. What heaven has released over your life is not just a transfer of wealth, it's a total restoration of who you are. This is not just about provision. This is about healing. This is about identity. This is about purpose being resurrected from the ashes of delay, betrayal, and weariness. God is not merely filling your hands, He is lifting your soul. You've carried more than anyone knew. You smiled while your heart was breaking. You gave while you were empty. You stayed faithful when you had every reason to walk away, and heaven recorded it all. Every sacrifice, every silent tear, every time you chose hope over bitterness. You thought no one saw, but God saw. You thought you were forgotten, but you were being refined. You thought your weakness disqualified you, but it became the doorway to His power. Now the healing begins, not only of your finances, but of your emotions. The heaviness that sat on your chest at night, the burden you couldn't explain, the exhaustion you carried in your beneath is lifting. God is restoring the parts of you that broke quietly. The pieces you hid from others are being held in His hands. The fractured places in your soul are being mended with glory, not shame. He is rebuilding you, not into what you were, but into what you were always meant to become. This is why the delay was long. You weren't being punished, you were being protected. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection. He was closing doors not to hurt you, but to keep you from settling for less than your calling. He was pruning relationships not to isolate you, but to make room for what's holy. He was hiding you not because you were unworthy, but because he wanted to unveil you at the appointed time, and that time is now. You are not just being blessed, you are being revealed. The version of you that emerges from this moment will not be broken, bitter, or bound. You will rise with clarity, with strength, with confidence that no longer needs the approval of those who never understood you. God is not just giving you money, He's giving you back your voice, your peace, your joy. What was crushed is being restored. What was stolen is being returned. What was buried is rising in power. In Mere Christianity, C.S. Lewis wrote, "It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg." This metaphor captures the essence of your restoration. The delays and trials you've endured were the cracking of the shell, the painful but necessary process of breaking free from the old self. Lewis's words remind you that to rise into the fullness of God's promise, you must let go of the limitations that once confined you. The restoration unfolding now is your transformation into the soaring divine version of yourself, ready to fly into your calling. So, take a breath. Feel the shift. The atmosphere around you is changing because the atmosphere inside you is being renewed. This is not just favorites redefinition. You are stepping into your true name. Not forgotten, not cursed, not overlooked. You are chosen, you are loved, you are trusted, and heaven is rebuilding you from the inside out. Chosen one. The timing you feared had passed is the timing God has just declared ripe. The moments you thought were missed are being resurrected. What felt like silence was preparation, and what felt like abandonment was divine positioning. You are not late. You are not behind. You are standing at the exact threshold God intended for you all along. This is not delay. This is alignment. When others gave up on you, heaven was still writing. When voices told you it was over, the author of your destiny was just turning the page. God never rushed your process because He knew the weight of the promise. He waited until the foundation of your spirit could carry what He is about to place in your hands. He waited until the noise around you quieted enough for you to hear His instruction. And now, as heaven opens the gates of provision, He is also releasing blueprints, connections, clarity. What is coming is not random, it is deeply intentional. Right now, someone you've never met is hearing your name in the Spirit. They don't know why they're thinking of you. They don't know why they feel stirred, but heaven does. A whisper has reached their soul. God planted your identity into their dreams, and they've awakened with your name on their mind. This isn't imagination. This is divine orchestration. They hold a key to your next door, and the lock has already begun to turn. What was shut is opening. What was lost is being found. What seemed finished is beginning again. This is not just a new season, it is a divine reversal. The doors that were slammed shut in your face are now being reopened by God's hand alone, and this time, no man can shut them, no system can block them, no lie can twist them. The promotion that bypassed you is returning. The opportunity that dissolved is reappearing. The promise that looked impossible is being fulfilled not in years, but in days. Do not be discouraged by what you see in the natural. The spiritual realm has already shifted. Angels have been dispatched. Resources are moving. Decisions are being rewritten. Conversations are happening behind closed doors about you, for your good, by God's design. The gate of delay has been dismantled, and the gate of release is wide open. This is not the hour to shrink back. This is the hour to walk forward with boldness, to lift your head and step into rooms you once thought were too high for you, because you are not walking alone. The Spirit of God goes before you. His favor surrounds you. His promise sustains you, and His timing has arrived. This is the moment when heaven says, "Now, chosen one." You have walked through seasons of silence, not because God was absent, but because He was watching closely. He saw every time you were overlooked, every moment you gave without being seen, every time you obeyed without applause. He watched as you endured whispers behind your back, as you forgave quietly and stayed faithful when others mocked your faith. You were never invisible to heaven. You were being measured for honor. Now the time of hiddenness is ending. The reward that was stored in secret is about to be poured out in public. Those who laughed when you said you were trusting God will now witness what that trust has built. The people who questioned your faith will have no words when they see the fruit of it. And you won't have to say a thing. God will speak for you through the evidence of His hand on your life. This isn't about proving your worth, it's about revealing God's glory. He is preparing a table for you in full view of those who thought you had failed. Not to shame them, but to show them what happens when someone walks in quiet obedience and unwavering faith. The elevation that's coming won't be subtle, it will be seen, undeniable, and holy. This is not promotion from man, it is appointment from heaven. God is placing your name in the mouths of people with influence. He is positioning you in places you didn't even ask for. You won't have to network your way into this. You won't have to beg to be included. He is opening the doors, writing your name on the invitations, and making room for your arrival. What once felt like rejection was just the redirection to a table that was always meant for you. This is honor after humiliation, glory after grief, strength after seasons of struggle. You will not just be blessed, you will be established, and this time, no storm will uproot you. God is securing you, planting you, building something unshakable around you. Your presence will carry weight, your story will carry power, and your life will carry the unmistakable mark of one who was chosen, refined, and elevated by God Himself. So stand tall, don't hide, don't apologize for what God is about to do through you. You were faithful in private, now you will be favored in public. The light is not meant to expose you, it's meant to reveal what heaven has been shaping all along. The years of being unseen are over. This is the season where God says, now let them see what I've always known. Chosen one, you've been carrying more than just responsibilities. You've been carrying spiritual weight, questions, too heavy for words, fears buried beneath strength, exhaustion hidden behind a brave face. You've learned to smile when you were tired, to give when you were empty, and to press forward even when everything inside you whispered, it's too much. But heaven never intended for you to walk like this forever. God saw the burden, not just the one people could see, but the one that pressed against your soul when no one was watching. The weight of trying to hold it all together. The pressure to stay faithful, stay hopeful, stay standing even while something in you was breaking. And now, chosen one, heaven is responding, because this was never meant to be your load alone. The burden is being lifted, not by your effort, but by God's mercy. The invisible heaviness that settled on your chest is being broken by divine power. You are not being asked to prove your strength. You are being invited to rest in His. This is not weakness. This is surrender. You weren't created to carry shame or lack or fear. You were created to walk in peace, in clarity, in freedom. And that freedom is arriving now. Let go of what's not yours to hold. Release the fear of not having enough, the shame of what didn't work, the guilt over where you fell short. Heaven is not rehearsing your failures, it is preparing your future. And that future requires space. Space in your mind, space in your heart, space in your hands. That's why God is removing the extra weight so you can receive the fullness of what's next. You don't have to figure out every detail. You don't have to fix what was never yours to fix. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. The Father is not waiting for you to get it perfect. He's waiting for you to lay it down. Right here, right now, the pressure is lifting. Not because the circumstances changed yet, but because the spiritual atmosphere around you has shifted. Grace has entered. Rest is being restored. The yoke is being exchanged. So breathe. Let your shoulders relax. Let your spirit exhale. The storm within is settling because the one who calms winds and waves is standing beside you. This is your moment of release, not just from pain, but from the need to carry everything on your own. Heaven is declaring over you now, the burden is lifted. You were never meant to carry it alone, and now you no longer have to. Chosen one, time may have made you question everything. You've looked around and wondered if you missed it, if the promise was for someone else, if the door had already closed, if you were too late. But heaven does not operate on human calendars. The plans of God are not fragile. They don't expire under pressure. They unfold in perfect timing that is written not in hours and minutes, but in destiny. You are not late. You are right on time. Every delay, every detour, every season that felt like waiting was part of a larger rhythm, a divine choreography you couldn't see. While others ran ahead, you were being refined. While others were being noticed, you were being hidden for protection, for preparation, for purpose. God didn't forget you. He was developing you. And now, the time has come for the promise to meet the person you've become. The dreams you buried because they took too long, He remembers. The prayers you whispered in the dark when no one else heard, He recorded. The visions you held in your heart long after others gave up, He still intends to fulfill them. Not a single word He spoke over you has fallen to the ground. What He started in you, He is faithful to finish. The enemy tried to use time as a weapon to convince you that the window had closed, that the favor had passed, that the blessing belonged to someone else, but he was wrong. Heaven doesn't hand your inheritance to another. What is written with your name on it cannot be claimed by anyone else. The page of your promise is still active, and the ink has never faded. This is the hour of reversal. Missed moments are becoming fresh beginnings. Lost opportunities are returning with interest. What you thought had withered is blooming again. The things you once let go, often not out of lack of faith, but out of exhaustion, are coming back into view, not because you chased them, but because heaven is sending them. So don't mourn the years you thought were wasted. Nothing is wasted in God's hands. He has been weaving it all together for this very moment. And now the clock of heaven is striking alignment. The gates that once held you out are opening. The yes that once escaped you is being spoken again. The divine appointment you thought had passed is arriving right on time. This is not your second chance. This is the fulfillment of the original one. The promise never left you. And now, it's time to receive what was always yours. Chosen one, you don't need to chase this blessing, it's already in motion. Long before you saw any sign, long before you even knew what to ask for, heaven had already assigned someone to unlock the next chapter of your life. That person, the one holding the key to your breakthrough, has already been stirred. They may not know why they feel drawn to help you. They may not even know your face or story, but they know your name because God placed it there. It happened quietly. While they were asleep, your name echoed in their spirit. God didn't need to use a loud voice. He planted a divine urgency, a holy disturbance. They awoke with a pull in their heart and a sense that they had to act. They can't explain it, but they feel it deeply. That's not coincidence. That's orchestration. That's the movement of heaven through willing vessels on earth. You see, the blessing coming to you is not just financial, it's prophetic. It's a message from God, wrapped in favor, delivered through human hands. It's confirmation that you are seen, that you are remembered, that nothing meant for you will be lost. And the person chosen to carry this assignment is already on their way to fulfill it, even if they don't know it's divine. Their resources, their access, their influence, it's not about their power, it's about God's purpose. He could have sent anyone, but He chose someone equipped, someone prepared, someone positioned. And that someone is now being drawn into alignment with your destiny. Not because you earned it, not because you forced it, but because heaven ordered it. You don't have to strategize your way into this moment. You don't need to convince or persuade. You don't have to be in the right room with the right people. You only need to be in position, spiritually rooted in trust, clothed in expectation, because the hand that's about to open a door for you is being guided by the hand of God Himself. This is what favor looks like. It moves without explanation. It finds you in hidden places. It calls your name, even when you feel unseen. And when it arrives, it carries more than you asked for because it carries the intention of heaven. So stand still in faith, chosen one. Rest in the knowing that someone, somewhere, is already responding to a divine nudge on your behalf. They are not the source, they are the vessel. And the one who sent them never misses his target. Chosen one, the season of silent suffering is coming to an end, not because time passed, but because heaven issued a reversal. Everything the enemy tried to steal from you, your joy, your voice, your momentum is now being returned, not only returned, but multiplied. What was meant to break you is now building the stage for your breakthrough. What the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for good, and he is doing it publicly, precisely, and powerfully. You were not attacked because you were weak. You were targeted because you carry weight in the spirit. The enemy doesn't waste energy on the ordinary. He reserves his fiercest warfare for the ones anointed with assignment. That's why the battle raged so long. That's why the pressure felt unbearable at times. The darkness knew your calling, even when you doubted it, and it tried everything to disconnect you from it. But it failed. It failed to destroy your hope. It failed to kill your faith. It failed to bury your promise. And now, every weapon formed against you is being dismantled by the hand of God. The very things that brought tears to your eyes are about to bring glory to your nomino because of what you endured, but because of what heaven has declared over your life. This is divine justice unfolding in real time. God is not just restoring what was lost, he is reversing what was cursed. Where there was debt, he is establishing overflow. Where there was shame, he is clothing you with honor. Where you were overlooked, he is causing your name to rise to the surface. And where you were denied, he is rewriting the outcome entirely. Chosen one, the atmosphere around you is no longer filled with resistance. It is charged with movement. You will feel it. The heaviness that lingered is lifting. The doors that refused to budge are now opening with ease. And the places you were once rejected from are now being instructed to receive you. What was closed off by man is being opened by God. This is not compensation. This is vindication. The reversal isn't just in your finances, it's in your story, your reputation, your name. The things said about you in private will be undone by what God does through you in public. And you won't have to defend yourself. You won't have to explain anything. The results will speak for themselves. So walk forward without fear. Don't look back to see if the old weight is following you. It's not. What held you down can no longer reach you. The cycle has broken, the spell has shattered, and the reversal has begun. Chosen one, what you endured wasn't meaningless. Every delay, every detour, every dark night you cried out for relief was not a punishment, it was a blueprint. God wasn't ignoring you. He was constructing something beneath the surface that couldn't be rushed. What looked like stagnation was actually structure. What felt like absence was divine architecture. You were not being held back. You were being laid down like a foundation slow, steady and deep. You see, quick blessings often collapse under pressure. But what God is building in your life is not temporary. It is lasting. It is generational. And for that kind of weight, he had to go deep. He allowed the pressure not to crush you, but to shape you. He let certain doors close so you wouldn't settle too soon. He let certain people walk away so you wouldn't attach to what couldn't carry the next level. What you called loss, heaven called excavation. He dug into your life not to harm you, but to plant what eyes could not see. That's why nothing worked the way you expected. That's why you couldn't force things open, no matter how hard you tried. Because God wasn't letting you build on shallow ground. He wanted your character to be stronger than your connections. He wanted your spirit to outrun your success. He needed your heart anchored before he raised your platform. Now that the hidden work is complete, the visible shift is about to begin. You will look around and suddenly realize that things are falling into place not by striving, but by surrender. The delays you once resented will make sense. The no's that once broke your heart will be seen as protection. You'll realize that you weren't wandering, you were being positioned, layer by layer, for what was coming. And now, it's here. God is turning your suffering into strategy. What you learned in the wilderness will become wisdom in the spotlight. What you overcame in silence will become strength in public. The same pain that tried to bury you will become the very oil that marks you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are rising slowly, steadily, divinely. And the foundation that God Himself laid under your feet will hold everything He's about to place in your hands. So trust the process you came through. Don't regret the road. You didn't waste time, you were being trained. And now that the foundation is ready, God is ready to build what only He could imagine for you. And this time, it will not fall. Chosen one, heaven's treasury is no longer sealed. The vault that held what was promised to you, what generations prayed into, what your spirit longed for in silence has been opened. Not by effort, not by luck, but by divine command. This is not a small release. This is overflow. This is the evidence that God did not forget a single prayer, a single tear, or a single act of faith done in the dark. The release is not just provision, it is movement. A flow has been unlocked over your life, and it cannot be stopped by man, by fear, or by systems. You've lived under closed doors long enough. You've felt the frustration of things almost happening, of blessings slipping through your fingers. But now, the grip of delay has been broken. The windows of heaven are open wide, and what's coming to you is not trickle-injects pouring. This favor is not random. It's targeted. It's marked with your name. Heaven doesn't send blessings into confusion. It sends them into alignment. And you, chosen one, have finally stepped into the atmosphere where everything that was promised can land. Not just because it's time, but because you are ready. You will see it unfold in ways you couldn't plan, emails you didn't expect, calls that come out of nowhere, names spoken in rooms you've never entered. The floodgates have been commanded to move in your direction. And every act of faith, every moment you refused to give up, every time you stayed faithful when nothing made sense, it's all being honored now. This is not just increase. It's divine memory being poured out in tangible form. Don't second-guess it when it arrives. Don't shrink back when it overwhelms you. This is what you've been prepared for. This is the blessing that doesn't come with sorrow, the kind that restores what years of loss tried to consume, the kind that makes up for the seasons where you had to smile while empty, give while lacking, and trust when silence was your only answer. And remember, this flow is not just financial, it's spiritual, it's emotional, it's relational. God is aligning every area of your life with favor. You will feel lighter. You will feel clarity where there was once confusion. You will walk in places that once resisted you. The oil is flowing. The heavens have spoken. And now, the evidence is about to show up in your natural life. You are not just being blessed. You are becoming a living testament to what happens when someone remains faithful through famine and stays available when the flood comes. The treasury has opened, and the flow, chosen one, will be unstoppable. Chosen one, what has been prophesied for generations, what felt distant, even impossible, is now beginning to manifest before your eyes. The wealth transfer heaven promised isn't a metaphor, it's real, and it's moving. This is not charity. It's not coincidence. It's the release of what has always belonged to you in the spirit, now finding its way into your hands in the natural. You were not chosen to survive forever. You were chosen to steward overflow. You were called not just to break cycles of lack, but to build new legacies of abundance. And now your name has been moved on heaven's ledger, from pending to released, from waiting to fulfilled. The delay was never denial. It was protection, preservation, and preparation for this very moment. The inheritance coming to you has nothing to do with what you earned, and everything to do with who you belong to. God has traced your bloodline, not the one of your earthly lineage, but the royal bloodline of covenant. You are not just a recipient of mercy, you are an heir of kingdom authority. That means what is being sent your way isn't a bonus, it's a birthright. The systems of this world are already shifting to make room for what God is transferring. Approvals that were once locked are now being signed. Resources that seemed unreachable are now being redirected. People who had no intention of blessing you are feeling compelled to act. Why? Because God spoke, and when He speaks, even the unwilling become instruments of His will. This transfer isn't just about money, it's about divine influence. God is placing tools in your hands to build what others only dreamed about. You will not only rise, you will raise others. You will not only possess, you will multiply. This wealth is not coming to distract you. It's coming to empower you. The very calling you've carried in prayer, the burden to help, to give, to create, to lead heaven is now funding it. And when it arrives, it will be specific. It will be undeniable. It will be marked by the fingerprints of God. You will not wonder if it was Him, you'll know. Because no one else could orchestrate a miracle like this. The number, the moment, the connection, it will speak with the clarity only heaven can provide. So lift your expectation. Stand in agreement with what God has already released. The wealth transfer has begun, and your name is on the delivery. Chosen one, this next move of God in your life will not require force. You won't need to chase it, beg for it, or manipulate your way into it. What is coming is not the result of striving, it is the result of surrender. God is not blessing you because you pushed hard enough. He is blessing you because you let go, trusted, and stayed faithful when no one else saw the cost of your obedience. You have entered the season where favor will begin to pursue you. It will come looking for you in unexpected places, wrapped in unexpected forms, carried by people you never imagined. And it won't make sense by earthly standards, because this is not natural movement. It's divine attraction. You are stepping into the rhythm of grace, where what once ran from you now runs to you, where closed doors swing open without you knocking, where answers arrive before the question finishes, leaving your lips. This is what happens when heaven says, now. When the appointed time meets a prepared vessel, the pressure lifts, the striving ends, and the promise begins to walk toward you. Not slowly, not hesitantly, but with purpose. The same God who called you is now calling the blessing forward with your name on it. You won't need to promote yourself. You won't need to compete. The oil on your life will speak louder than your resume. The anointing will open doors that credentials couldn't. What took others 10 years to build will come into your hands by favor, in a moment, because God is doing the lifting now. And when God lifts, no man can block it. Let this truth settle in your spirit. You are no longer in survival mode. You're no longer running on fumes. You've exited the cycle of delay and disappointment. You are now in divine flow. And in this flow, effort is replaced by grace, striving is replaced by stillness, and fear is replaced by faith. The blessing will find you in your rest, in your obedience, in your stillness. While others run in circles trying to create momentum, you will stand and watch momentum come to you, because you've learned that presence matters more than performance, and it's God's presence that is drawing everything you need to your doorstep. So release the urge to force what God has already finished. The river is flowing, the promise is in motion, and the blessing it's already on its way to find you. Chosen one, don't mistake this breakthrough as the finish line. This is not the end of your story, it's the opening of a greater chapter. What you're stepping into now is only the first wave of a much larger movement. The blessing you are receiving is not just for your survival. It's not even just for your success. It's for legacy. God is not merely lifting you up. He is anchoring something eternal through you. Everything He's done in secret, every prayer answered behind closed doors, every private healing, every silent war you've won, none of it was wasted. It was the groundwork for something generational. The favor being released now will not stop with you. It will overflow into your family, your community, your calling. Your children, whether of blood, spirit, or purpose, will eat from the fruit of your endurance. God is raising you up to become a testimony, not of perfection, but of redemption, not of ease, but of endurance. You are a living example of what happens when someone refuses to let go, even when everything seemed to say, give up, and now God is putting his seal on your life. The same hand that carried you through the fire is now establishing you in the promise. Not temporarily, not conditionally, permanently. This season will be marked by supernatural acceleration. Doors will open faster than you can explain. Provision will come before the need even appears. You will see prayers answered mid-sentence. You will watch as things that once felt impossible unfold with divine ease, and all of it will point to one truth. God has established you. But hear this. It's not just about being blessed. It's about being trusted. God is releasing more because he knows your heart is ready to carry more. More peace, more wisdom, more authority, more impact. You have passed the test. You've been found faithful. And now you are being positioned not just as a receiver, but as a builder, a reformer, a vessel of heaven's plan on earth. So take a deep breath. Look around. What's coming next will require vision, focus, and surrender, but it will also be filled with joy, clarity, and divine momentum. You are not walking alone. You never have been. And now, as heaven surrounds you with confirmation after confirmation, miracle after miracle, breakthrough after breakthrough, you will begin to see why the battle was so intense and why the wait was so long. Because you weren't just being blessed, you were being built into a legacy, and this, chosen one, this is only the beginning. Closing prayer. Let this be sealed in heaven and in me. Father God, I come before you not as one who is worthy by works, but as one who has been made whole by grace. You have spoken over my life with words I didn't even know I needed, words that reached into the deepest, most broken places of me and brought light. And so now, with all that I am, I stand in agreement with heaven. I declare with boldness, let it be done unto me as you have spoken. God, seal this verdict over my life. I receive the ruling of freedom. I receive the reversal of every lie, every curse, every delay. I receive the inheritance that has been stored up with my name on it. I do not run from it, I step into it. I will no longer shrink under shame or question whether I'm chosen. I am chosen, I am called, I am covered by the blood of Jesus, and I walk forward with clean hands and a renewed spirit. Every word the enemy spoke is silenced now. Every false judgment, every spiritual attack, every voice that tried to limit me, I cancel their power by the authority of Christ. I renounce every agreement I made with fear, with lack, with discouragement, and I realign myself completely with your word, your spirit, and your timing. Let this miracle not just visit my life, but dwell in it. Father, I lift my hands to receive the flow of favor you have opened. Let it pour through my finances, my mind, my relationships, my body, and my future. Let divine restoration meet me in every area. Where I once begged, I now bless. Where I once wept, I now rejoice. Where I once lacked, I now carry overflow, not for selfish gain, but for holy impact. God, I ask for wisdom to carry what you are entrusting to me. Let my hands be holy. Let my heart remain soft. Let my steps be aligned only with your will. Guard my spirit from pride, from fear, from compromise. Make me a vessel of integrity. Let those who see me not only see breakthrough, but see your fingerprints all over my life. I surrender every timeline, every question, every outcome to you. I trust you not only for the miracle, but with the miracle. You are not just my provider, you are my shepherd, and I will follow you even into unfamiliar territory because I know you've already gone before me. Lord, I declare, I will not miss what you are doing. I will not fear what you are releasing. I will not doubt what you have confirmed. I say yes to the flow. I say yes to the future. I say yes to the fullness of what you planned for me before I was born. Let every chain now be shattered. Let every blessing now be released. Let every scroll in heaven with my name be fulfilled. Let every purpose I carry be awakened. Let every closed door that was not from you remain shut, and let every door you authored swing open in power. This is not just breakthrough, this is establishment, and I declare with boldness, this is only the beginning. My legacy starts now. In the name of Jesus, the name above every name, Amen.